right before we went live, Aaron says choo-choo, because we hear a train sounder right before we start.
And that was from Swerved on the WWE Network, which you can now start your free month every single month now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how that exactly works, but apparently that's how it works now. So the people that were first-day subscribers, we got a gift card, basically, for WWE Shop, which I used, mind you, like most of us did, so...
And I didn't get mine. I got WWE emojis.
Yeah, I got those too, actually.
You got both? Oh, my God.
I got both in my email, yeah.
I called WWE Network, and they said people got either or. Unbelievable.
That is a lie. That is a complete and total lie.
Unbelievable.
So we're joining you about 5 minutes late due to the fact that we're having some technical issues. So now that those are solved, we're going to go live. We're going to talk about the go-home show for Battleground live from Hotlanta, Bad Street, USA in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's going to be what we're going to talk about tonight. I am not alone. As always, I am joined by Ashley.
Never Alone is a pretty good indie game.
Yeah. And Mr. Entertainment, Aaron.
Thanks for having me again. This was going to be a very fun podcast.
We didn't ask you to come back.
Okay. I'm sorry, yo. Y'all be good.
Bye, Felicia. So basically what ended up happening was we were supposed to have a special guest tonight, and due to circumstances beyond their control, they were not able to join us. But it sounds very prominent that they're going to be joining us next week. So we'll be welcoming a new member to the podcast next week, as long as everything lines up. And if it doesn't, then I promise you it's going to happen. It's not like people on Pop that just decided one day that they weren't going to give any videos or anything.
It's not Dixie Carter.
It's not Dixie Carter. Wow, that was frightening, I won't lie.
So, who's in charge? Spoiler, it's Bully Ray.
Hoodie Man.
Hoodie Man is in charge, exactly. Okay, so this is building to the pay-per-view that's going to be coming on Sunday. I believe we're in St. Louis, Missouri, or Randy Orton country, which, ironically enough, Randy Orton got added to the card. They're going to be doing Randy Orton and Sheamus on the card as well, so...
Just with the wrong opponent, that's all.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Ronda Rousey then. I was getting hype.
That'd be awesome. I'd like to see Ronda Rousey against Sheamus. That'd be fun.
Well, we didn't get to see Sheamus versus whoever that actor was.
That guy from The Walking Dead that totally looked like Sheamus back in the day? Yeah. He must have been in the back, and watching the show.
Yeah, I don't think it would have made sense just to kind of throw him out there when Sheamus has this feud with Randy Orton.
Yeah, I guess we'll call it that. So, apparently in a week, the vehicle that was absolutely destroyed last week was completely crushed in a car crusher, like it was the Brave Little Toaster. And basically, it was brought out to be a showpiece by the ramp to start off the show, and it was out there for the entire duration.
That car certainly seems to be the star of the show. I mean, part of Raw for 3 weeks now.
And kudos to that fan that came up with that Craigslist thing from last week that we talked about. That was gold.
Also, you'd prefer to be the Brave Little Toaster than Brave.
Brave Little Toaster versus Toy Story, available currently on Pop. Now, it is the most, 100% the most popular versus we've ever done, and I've never been able to explain that.
I blame Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I blame Seth Rollins for a lot of things. So, the show basically starts off with Brock and Heyman coming out. And I'm going to just paraphrase here a little bit. History is going to be made again on Sunday. Heyman says, I don't beg or plead a lot, but I beg you, circle the date. Brock's going to leave as champion. Rollins is going to get beat. He's going to get his ass kicked. He's going to get suplexed, and then he's going to get pinned. And this brings out Rollins and Kane. Because J&J, of course, are out because, I guess Joey Mercury could have been out, but Jamie Noble's in a bad way in every way possible right now. He's legitimately hurt right now thanks to Brock Lesnar.
And that fan who was not injured is, I guess, just forgot, or will always remember that a car
They've
door.
got a car door.
Not as cool as that so-called fan that got super kicked at CZW over the weekend.
I did not hear about this.
There's a reason why you didn't hear about it. That didn't really happen.
Yes.
Now, on a just another quick topic, is there some type of rumbling that CZW might be close to a national TV deal?
They're close to a TV deal. I don't know if it's a national one.
That'd be amazing. Well, I mean, it wouldn't make sense to have it like local markets like ROH started out, and now ROH became national a month ago. So, but yeah, good luck to them. I've always wanted to see CZW. I heard it's pretty crazy.
It depends on which version of CZW you want to watch. I mean, if you want to watch it now, they're a lot tamer than they used to be. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, in most ways, they're a lot tamer.
3 words. Pardon the Esperanto. Nick fucking Gage.
You know it. Nick Gage is back.
Wow. And, you know, because I've always heard a lot about Necro the Butcher.
Necro Butcher.
I know.
Is that
He's the
Bruce
French
J?
version.
Is
He's
he
the French
Necro?
version.
He's Necro
My name
Boucher?
is Necro Boucher.
I had a Seth Rollins moment there.
So he's in the Waterboy sequel, right?
You did not have a Seth Rollins moment because you didn't go blah 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 blah.
At least you don't yell like Brock in his mating call.
or Josh in his Yeti call for Star Wars fans. I mean, it just kind of seems idiotic to do that, you know. I don't know.
So, yeah, that's what we basically have here. We continue. Basically, Rollins can't wait to wipe the smile off Brock's face. You chose to be a coward. You took out your frustration on an inanimate object. That car was a gift I gave to my friends. Call that destroyed... Go ahead.
I'm just getting the flashback to that scene from in Bruges now. When the calls ended. Jason, it's just an inanimate fucking object. You're an inanimate fucking object!
Yeah, no lie.
In Bruges, kids, watch it.
And some of these Raws have been a lot like Bruges, so there you go.
Until tonight came.
Yes. Basically, the destroyed car is your symbol. The title is my symbol. He calls Brock a thug, a criminal, and a vandal. I'm gonna burn Suplex City to the ground. And then he says, I can take you to Suplex City, and they bleep out the word bitch.
No, really? I heard the B word. I didn't hear a bleep.
Well, on what I heard, they did, but apparently, if it was that situation, then they didn't.
Oh yeah, no, because you know Brock Lesnar says it so fast. Well, he said it fast at that time, and you know I wanted to make a tweet like, "Oh, they used the B word again. The internet's gonna break."
I can take you to Suplex City, bitch. Kane tries to calm everyone down, sets up for a contract signing later on in the night. So basically, he says you don't need to do anything to jeopardize this match, and Heyman stops him and is like, "Are you really trying to threaten Brock Lesnar? Is the Undertaker's baby brother trying to threaten Brock Lesnar?"
Nice jab from Paul Heyman. And I even said on Twitter, if it was anybody that's going to get the monster out of Kane at that moment in time, it'd be Paul Heyman with the stuff that was coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, can we put the mask and the gear back on and stop making him look like a deadbeat dad as a backyarder again, please?
After tonight's conclusion of Raw, I don't think that might happen anytime soon.
I have a feeling it will once everything rights itself.
Makes sense.
What could really go wrong? Well, unless Seth breaks the 11th commandment, thou shalt not intentionally provoke Brock Lesnar. Because if you do, sir, I assure you, Super Suplex City will come tonight to Atlanta, GA. So it was a good opening of the show. I enjoyed it. It really built the anticipation for the match on Sunday, and it built the anticipation for the contract signing for the show tonight.
I actually would have no complaints about, you know, seeing Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman for the third week in a row starting off the show. You know, someone like Paul Heyman on the mic, and, you know, Brock Lesnar doesn't have to say I think Brock Lesnar has a limited vocabulary. I think he only can say the words now, Suplex City bitch now. So he has a very limited vocabulary now.
He has a mouthpiece. He does not need to talk. He lets his suplexes speak for him.
I know, but when he talks, it's just the craziest things come out of his mouth. Like the SummerSlam prelude, unbelievable. Vomit, blood.
Yeah, so Brock Lesnar should be allowed to talk.
Oh, it's great.
What do I think about Seth Rollins? He's a weasel. Okay, sure.
But also just like how he delivers it. Like, yes, he needs mic work, but just like real quick, I mean, this is how he delivers it. Like, he's so laid back, doesn't give a crap, and exactly that's what he would probably say about Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is a weasel. They just say it's so cool.
Brock Lesnar speaks in broken sound bites.
Yeah.
And then apparently, to open off the show, we got ourselves a quote-unquote main event tag team match.
Such a main event that it was the opening match.
A main event tag. Is that back to that special main event match that the Kiss Demon had in the middle of a WCW pay-per-view so they could say that the Demon was a main eventer? Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh.
I think people were happy. I think people, should be happy about that match being out of the way.
Yeah, considering the rest of the night, yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah. It was very smart booking tonight. And the best part of that whole segment with the tag team was The Miz on commentary. I'm really starting to like The Miz.
He's got a great personality when he's behind the microphone that not enough people get to see. And with the Tough Talk segments he hosts after Tough Enough is over, it really shines through.
They are hilarious. He's the best host of anything in WWE right now.
That's debatable, but as a Miz fan, I'm very happy to hear someone else say that other than me for a change.
Yeah, it's just like there was months and months of like, I still don't understand why he was WWE champion in 2011, 2012.
Oh, it was fine. I had no problem with it.
Well, yeah, because you're a Miz fan, but I did.
And he's a heel that won at WrestleMania in the main event and retained the world championship. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it does, and especially it was John Cena, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, nobody can take that away from him.
So, yeah, this match basically was like a normal back-and-forth match when it comes down to everything. Miz tried to get involved a bunch of times, and he got chased to the back after Big Show KO'd Ryback, and then Orton RKO'd Sheamus.
Big Show ran really quick.
Yeah, Big Show's gotten into some great shape, actually, to be able to run like that. It's got all about that cardio.
It became like almost like a NASCAR race. Like Mike Cole's like, Big Show's almost got him. He's almost got him.
Yeah, he was drafting. So Ryback ends up hitting the big splash off the top and gets the 3 count, clean as a sheet. And afterwards, Ryback shakes hands with Randy Orton. Normally, if you shake hands with Randy Orton, it does not end well for you. But this is babyface, I care Randy Orton. And that means that, it's not going to be the same like it normally is. Normally, it's a boot and an RKO. And in this case, nope. He's friendly Randy Orton, which is even more scary if you really think about it.
He's just one of those superstars that was a natural born heel, and he just needs to stay that way.
I don't have a problem with him being a face, though, if they do it right.
I mean, like an example, Kevin Owens will always stay heel. I can never picture.
You're wrong.
2 years, Kevin Owens would be like a babyface.
Less than that.
I'd be shocked if they ever turned Kevin Owens.
If you look at what... God, we're really getting ahead of ourselves, but I'll do it anyway. If you really look at what Kevin Owens represents as a character, other than what's going on with John Cena, Kevin Owens is a babyface. He acts like a babyface. The only thing he does is he's fighting for his family. He's fighting for a championship.
Oh yeah, I definitely understand that part because you said that before, so I understand the
Yes.
background with his personality matches him as a real person, basically.
Exactly.
But would you say the same thing about Brock Lesnar? I mean, is he a babyface now? I mean, he looks like a heel. And
No, he's a babyface.
yeah, okay, clear, when he came out to start off Raw, he was still in that kind of heel mode, and he does the smirking, but clearly this does make sense. It's not the Divas division.
No, he's not a heel, Aaron. He's a no-nonsense ass kicker that doesn't need to have a label.
Well, that I would agree with that. He really doesn't. I would agree with that. People just love to see Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar equals Raw is watchable, always.
Yeah, and trust me, Brock's going to be a lot bigger part of Raw before too long, but we'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ashley, what do you think about the opening match?
Wasn't too bad. I still miss the Russell Croweisms.
Yeah, no Russell Croweism tonight, sorry.
I am literally not entertained.
Yeah. So Kane and Rollins are in the back, and basically Rollins admits that Kane doing this contract signing is not in his best interest, and he really needs to do what's in the best interest of Seth Rollins. And if you keep this up, it won't end well for one of us. So we'll see how that goes. We got our next match. It is supposed to be Bray Wyatt against Dean Ambrose, as was promoted before the show started. One thing I really like about Bray's entrance is they did something I've never seen before, and this might be the first time that it's ever happened. Did you notice when they brought his name up on the screen, there was, like, the words Bray Wyatt were kind of lit up like fireflies?
Oh, no, they have been doing that. I just don't know how long. But
I didn't notice that. It appears like the name appears with fireflies out of the fog. I think that looks awesome.
Oh, yeah, no, I know exactly what it is. It's really cool. I think it could be the start of, future enhanced WWE programming as it compares to maybe theming the superstars' names to their brand and their character instead of just showing that raw name graphic.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
You've been doing that ever since the Undertaker match.
I haven't noticed, though.
I mean, I guess it's very, unnoticeable because it doesn't show up really quick, but it even has, an effect when it does show up.
I just think it looks good.
It does.
And apparently before we get started, Ashley, did you read this weekend, there was some sort of a house show and Dean Ambrose, supposedly hit some security guy with a chair, and now there's some sort of a lawsuit that'll probably get swept under the rug because of it?
No, but, this is CZW.
And he is the Lunatic Fringe.
Well, he was the CZW World Champion, so it does make sense.
Yes.
Where's Zandig when you need him?
Jesus! I knew you were going with that one. So our regularly scheduled Botchamania moment brought to you in part by Ashley.
Hey, it could be worse.
We'll get to it. Don't really have anything I can talk about in that case tonight, but your Botchamania segment moment, basically, not an actual Botchamania situation. So when Bray sits down in the rocking chair, Roman is standing behind him. I don't know how he didn't hear him running down the metal ramp, but okay.
Well, his music was playing.
You still can hear someone running down a ramp.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you would because there's not really cheering when Bray Wyatt comes out. It's all silence from the crowd.
So Roman literally just beats his ass, straight up beats his ass. He drop kicks him in the side of the head. He pounds away, tosses him in, goes for Samoan drop, gets countered, eats a Superman punch. Bray goes to the floor, and Bray grabs the lantern and pops Roman with it. Doesn't even drop him. It just he shrugs it off somewhat. And then that's the end of that. Roman still stands strong.
I thanked, I do thank Roman Reigns for doing that because I did not want to see Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt for the 50th time. I mean, because Michael Cole said it before when Bray Wyatt was come out. How cool is this, guys? Renewed of a rivalry. Yeah, how many times does this feud have to be renewed?
Like I said, if this was Florida and this was the 70s, they would be main eventing every National Guard armory and Texas death matches and different stipulation matches for the remainder of an entire loop of wrestling. But it's 2015, and that feud is now over with, and apparently that means that Dean Ambrose isn't going to wrestle tonight. So the fans pretty much didn't get a Dean Ambrose match, unless he did the dark, but I don't know that.
He might not be wrestling due to legal situations.
It's a possibility because he's named in this.
Yeah,
He's named in the lawsuit.
And for the fans that don't know about that, it's obviously made aware on the internet with these dirt sheets. But there was
Damn you, internet.
there was one dirt sheet that said, Dean Ambrose is not on the card on Sunday. What the hell's wrong with that?
Well, maybe that's by design now.
Yeah. He main events one pay-per-view, and then he's just nowhere to be seen for the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, he's
Like a basic bitch.
It's just a very interesting of building Dean Ambrose. It's a very different build-up for a superstar.
So, speaking of build-up for superstars, our next segment is, I'm sure, your favorite segment of the night.
Oh my God, we're already there?
We're already there.
Oh, hold on.
That's how little of wrestling was on the show tonight. Like Ashley brought it up, there were 6 matches on the card tonight.
I need to find my audio prompt.
Would you like me to wait?
Nah, I'll find it while you talk about it.
So we start off with Nikki, Brie, and Alicia Fox in the ring. And it's made perfectly known that on November 23rd, not 21st, last year, AJ was defeated to give Nikki the Divas Championship. And for 232 days, she's defended the championship against anyone and everyone. She calls herself the Total Diva. Team Bella is unstoppable. She gets interrupted by Stephanie McMahon.
Out of all people.
She says, you walk around like you own the Divas division, like you are the Divas division, like you run the WWE. Well, let me tell you this. I own the WWE, and it's time now to make a change into the Divas division.
And she got a pop just for saying, I own the WWE.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily true storyline-wise, but, this Stephanie really seemed babyface.
Yeah, completely. So,
which therefore means Team Bella are heels, definitively. Yes!
It took Stephanie McMahon to solidify the fact that the Bellas were heels, even though we've been saying it for the last month.
Yes.
Okay, so Stephanie brings out Paige, and she basically says, I wanted her out here. Things are going to change now. But in order to have change, you need backup. And for some reason, no one's willing to stand up against the Bellas. So she brings out the first person to stand up next to them. And that would be Becky Lynch.
Wait, what?
Becky Lynch comes out, and then Stephanie brings up what she needs to say. Basically talking about pedigree, talking about someone that has, basically talking about, the Flair name without mentioning it at all.
Somebody that's been born into the business.
Exactly. And
Zimmerman!
brings out Charlotte.
Oh.
So we have Charlotte and we have Becky Lynch standing beside Paige.
At this point, when Charlotte came out, I started to cry.
It got better. Naomi and Tamina come out. We've got some unfinished business with both of you groups.
I was so glad they came out because I thought that was it of debuts.
Stephanie says, you know what? I got someone else here that isn't afraid to stand up and seize the opportunity. And brings out the NXT Women's Champion, Sasha Banks.
And that's when I lost my shit.
Without the championship, mind you.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, she was not wearing the championship.
I think the water in my eyes was blocking the view.
And Sasha stood next to Tamina and Naomi for some reason. Stephanie says, I'm going to set the table here. Who's going to take it? So they all... Go ahead.
So, think about this. We've got Team Naomi, I guess, of sorts, with Naomi, Tamina, and Sasha Banks.
The Boss and the Beast.
We've got Team NXT.
Yeah, Team NXT.
Of Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. And then we got Team Bella, comprising of Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and who's the other one? Alicia Fox.
Fox.
That is all.
Yeah, exactly. So they all surround the Bellas and Alicia Fox, and they all fight. And eventually it ends up, after all is said and done, Foxy's locked in the figure 8, and Brie is locked in the disgusting armbar, long day.
It's disgusting.
And Nikki is locked in the bank statement, and the fans are chanting NXT at the top of their lungs.
That picture, I'm sorry, I just gotta say this, like that picture of all the 3 submission holds that are probably some of the best, I think, in wrestling today. Just on Raw is just unexplainable.
But here's the issue. The Bellas and Alicia Fox flee, leaving NXT and Sasha, Tamina, and Naomi to stare down each other.
Mm-hmm.
What ends this segment? The Total Divas theme.
Yeah, but no. Let's bring it back. Bring it back to the fact that,
you had the hashtag Total Divas.
You could have used Paige's theme here.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Keep in mind, Team Naomi, Team NXT is in the ring, Team Bella outside the ring.
Oh my god.
That is all.
That's not the last time we used that either. Spoiler alert. So, yeah, I mean, this was an awesome segment.
Shut up.
This was an awesome segment. And if you are a fan of the NXT women's division, you are very excited about hearing the prospect of Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky being brought up to the main roster.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, if people were an NXT fan, which they should be, they got goosebumps like I did. Possibly didn't take it to the heart like I did, or got emotional about it. I think the reason why I got emotional about it is because here's the thing: I met all 3 of these ladies separate times last year, and to see them in NXT numerous times and see some of their best matches in person. To see them debut on Raw, it actually means a lot to me because I'm an NXT fan and I just, happen to live in Florida where NXT is. So.
Exactly. I wish I could say the same. Maybe someday I'll be able to. But basically, this was a really awesome moment for the NXT women's division and being able to be brought up to the main roster.
It was a game-changing moment. I mean, some of these tweets were just like, this is revolutionary. I'm sure Mick Foley just I don't know, just went crazy because he's all for women's wrestling and he's a very good friend of Sasha Banks. And something tells me that Snoop Dogg was somewhere backstage because isn't Snoop Dogg from Atlanta?
I'm not aware. Actually, I would think he's probably from California.
I mean, probably residing in California, but he may have been founded out of Atlanta. I don't know. It tells me something that he was probably backstage because Sasha Banks made her debut in Atlanta. It just kind of comes together. But nonetheless, it was just an amazing segment, the best Diva segment in years. I would go on a limb and say that. Years.
I agree with that, but I mean, the thing is, you have to look at the fact that the only person missing from this is Bayley, and obviously she just came back from her broken hand on house shows over the weekend, so Bayley will probably get brought into this too. And this screams Survivor Series, to be honest.
I think SummerSlam.
No, this match screams Survivor Series.
With the 3 teams, yes.
5-on-5 Survivor Series.
Yeah, but I still think we'll see not all of them. maybe a couple of them.
No, the match is going to happen at SummerSlam without a doubt, but I'm talking the 5-on-5 NXT versus WWE, the women's division versus the Divas division at Survivor Series. This is planting the seeds in July for something that's going to happen in November.
Yeah, I know. I think that's why I'm disagreeing with it, but I mean, it could happen. It's happened before. I mean, like the last Divas traditional Survivor Series elimination match we had sucked. So this one's actually going to mean something.
Well, he gave it like 2 seconds too. I think it went home in like 3 minutes. So.
Mm.
And it's great because Michael Cole actually called this the future of women's wrestling on commentary.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
With Total Divas music.
With the Total Divas music playing in the background. Yes.
And that's definitely not the women's wrestling future.
Hashtag out of place.
Shows, yeah. And I still had goosebumps. I had withdrawals from this segment as the show continued afterwards, and Twitter was just exploding as we all expected it would. And I still had goosebumps, but then I had like a nightmare or like a bad vision, even though I was awake, and I had the nightmare that Sasha Banks could be on Total Divas next season.
No, I doubt it.
Please no. No NXT talent on Total Divas.
Paige is close enough.
Paige is close enough.
Summer Rae was close enough.
Yeah.
They might as well just cut out the middleman and put Emma on the show because she gets like every 5 minutes.
Are we not Emma-tained?
I am now.
Yeah, definitely.
So we go to a six-man tag, which was supposed to be the New Day against the Primetime Players and a mystery partner. The mystery partner turns out to be Mark Henry for his 4,000th babyface turn.
More like 17,000th, but okay.
I'm being nice and giving him 4,000.
Is that tying Big Show?
I think he actually may have lapped Big Show now, just barely.
He lapped Big Show. That's an image you don't want to see, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh God.
Because the Mark Henry face turns are not really just from personal experience watching him for years, they're not really noticeable as much as Big Show is.
Yeah, he'll change. He'll change it like the flip of a coin, basically.
Those are very noticeable. I mean,
okay.
Only babyface Big Show cries.
Okay, we got one more spot in the show tonight. So, okay, call it in the air show. What do you want to be tonight? Tails? Oh, sorry, it's heads. You're gonna be a heel tonight. Congratulations. Try again tomorrow because we're gonna flip the coin again. Harvey Dent's running the Big Show's booking.
Or Michael P.S. Hayes. Or Teddy Long.
So many things could be said in that right now, but I'm going to stay quiet.
I mean, it was a tag team match, so I said Teddy Long, then I said Michael P.S. Hayes, because someone's going to get the blame.
I do not think Michael Hayes booked this match.
Oh, come on. Well, no, it's not really. Well, I heard the report about this writer who was a favorite of The Rock, longtime WWE writer, leaving the company.
Yeah, Brian Gerwitz left the company to work for The Rock's production company.
Yeah, I mean, not a huge loss. I mean, they'll live.
He's a good writer, though.
Yeah, of course.
He's a comic book guy. You definitely can tell with his writing style.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows all about Ryan Ward and Triple H at NXT, so there you go. So we get the Primetime Players and Mark Henry against the New Day. I really like the combo, I can't really call it a combo. The trifecta of moves done by the New Day. So this is all done to Titus O'Neil. It's a running kick, a shining wizard, and Big E's big splash. I thought that worked really well. The match pretty much ends when everything goes crazy, everything breaks loose, and all of a sudden Xavier Woods ends up victimized by the world's strongest slam for the 3 count. And after the match is over, Mark Henry does the millions of dollars dance. Thoughts on the match, guys?
It was quick.
It was a match.
Yeah, no, it was a match. I feel like we say that every week. It's crazy, but about that match though, it was definitely to bring the crowd down because the crowd was so hyped for NXT.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, because I don't think you possibly could go into another big segment after that NXT. You had to calm down the crowd. So that was probably that night's piss break. Because if anyone took a piss during the Bellas and that segment, then they were an idiot.
And there's the picture that was tweeted out by Triple H, which has him standing with Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte.
Best selfie ever.
I don't know, the click selfie with Balor and Owens. And
Oh, I know, but just like I guess for tonight, it deserves that honorable mention because
Hideo and Zayn.
yeah, but I guess it just deserves an honorable mention for tonight because that's Triple H. Like Triple H saying that NXT tribute to Dusty Rhodes. Like NXT was his kids, those divas are his daughters.
Yeah, exactly.
So he was definitely smiling down.
So for some reason, and Ashley brings this up because I wasn't paying attention. Apparently, the opening video package ran again for whatever reason.
It did. I saw that too, Ashley.
Oh yeah, because I was lying. What?
Okay, here. The next match apparently was set up on the pre-show, so that's your guys' department, so go into it.
So yeah, Bad News Barrett was interviewed by JoJo, because that's what she does now, apparently. And basically he says, you're going to be going one-on-one tonight against the King of What's Up, and Barrett is massively offended by this.
He should be.
And says that, tonight I'm going to win and make him kiss my royal foot. And then I was thinking, oh, this probably means something's happening Sunday, innit?
It is, but not exactly what you thought it was going to be.
I don't think anybody thought it was going to be. I mean, people were kind of... That was the only thing people were kind of outraged tonight. Like, when it was announced, Truth versus Barrett for the crown, people were just...
Battle for the crown on the kickoff show.
Like, what crown, though? Where is this crown? I mean, Wade Barrett doesn't come out with it anymore. The Burger King play crown?
No, the Prince John crown he has been wearing.
I mean, like no joke. I mean, I even said in the tweet, I mentioned Barrett and Truth. I mean, they're just doing their jobs, but the King of the Ring is an absolute joke.
It's a shame what they've done to that. Let's just get it out of the way. R-Truth and Barrett.
Yeah.
Truth wins with a lie detector, and then he puts on his crappy crown and grabs his plunger from under the ring, and he celebrates. I don't like this storyline. I've never liked this storyline. I really wish they'd do something with Wade Barrett, but it just seems like they're never going to, so...
Like one fan said on Twitter, please let this be the last match between them two at Battleground. Don't say please, because WWE will just keep doing it.
I think Barrett needs to squash him, like totally squash him, and hurt him to the point that he develops amnesia and forgets R-Truth exists, and he goes back to being Ron Killings.
The NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Exactly. I'm just sick of this feud. It's gone on way too long. I understand about the slow burn. I'm tired of this feud. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm done with it.
Well, actually, what you just said, I hope the same for a specific individual that also made his return tonight. Changes his look.
I don't think that's going to happen. Not until something is done at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it definitely has to happen at SummerSlam because people were definitely... I think the two things that fans found something wrong with Raw tonight, overall, it was a fantastic show. Best episode in over a month or maybe just in a long time. Wednesday ever. But that Diva segment was the best ever. But a lot of people were just questioning Stardust. Why is he heel? Why is he still Stardust?
Because the show must go on. It says so in the tweet.
In his tweet? Because I saw the tweet from Stardust with the picture staring at what appeared to be his father's boots.
That would be correct.
That was an amazing picture. Maybe I missed that hashtag, but that was just an amazing picture. That was worth 1,000 words.
It's like the finish what you start, kid, is what it says. So
yeah, I saw that, yeah.
That means as long as you are still Stardust, still be Stardust and finish this. And once you're done, go back to being Cody Rhodes.
Well, then I guess the fans don't have a reason to complain about. I saw it both ways, but I just saw a lot of people just very kind of ticked off. I mean, because they have a point. Like I said, I see it both ways because, like, even though we're not there yet, obviously we all knew Stardust was going to get an applause, but that crowd did die during that match. Like,
We'll get to that.
Oh, it's dead.
So, it's time for the John Cena Open Challenge, and thankfully there's no mic work this time.
Yeah, no, he's just yelling at the camera.
To be honest, Ashley, I don't know if you caught this as much as I did, but this is the most heelish we've seen Cena in a while.
Yeah, actually.
I love the smirk. I love the smirk because he powders out to the floor and lets them fight it out. And
I saw that.
The camera just focuses on Cena smirking. Like, I pulled off one over on all of you.
That was one commercial break. I don't think we've discussed this, but the commercial. It was another week where the commercial breaks were oddly placed. Like in some cases.
Just the weird 3-segment of the opening match. That's the one thing that annoyed me too.
Right, exactly. That's when it started, and Cena.
It probably feels wrong because there was only 6 matches.
Yeah, there's only 6 matches tonight.
Yeah, and since we're going into it, it's probably a great segue. We know what match gave us the most wrestling. This was like not too long, but it was just like it was pay-per-view long.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
So, no mic work, like I said. Who's going to accept the open challenge? Rusev. Rusev comes out with the gorgeous Summer Rae and wearing boots because now he has to. And he cuts his Johnny promo again, channeling his inner Tommy Wiseau, like always. And he says, "That's why USA, that's why I broke stupid boyfriend Dolph Ziggler." He says he's going to break Cena tonight. Kevin Owens comes out like, "No, wait a minute. If anyone's going to beat John Cena, it's going to be me. How about I beat you tonight, and at Battleground, I'll give you a rematch." Rusev calls Kevin Owens a stupid French American. Kevin or Owen, make up your mind. I thought that was really fun. Like I said, he's Tommy Wiseau. He really is. His promos just show me that.
His tweet after Raw was just a continuation of that because that was just such a hilarious encounter between Kevin Owens and Rusev, and the hashtag French American should be trending right now because he used that hashtag in that tweet.
So, Rusev, take your Lana wannabe and stick the flag up your Chernobyl. I thought that was funny. That was really well done, too.
Your Chernobyl.
Oh, I forgot he said the word buddy. Stick the flag up your Chernobyl, buddy. They have a stare down. Here comes Cesaro, and he stares Cena down, and then he stares Owens down, and while this is happening, Cena powders, and we see him smirking as we go to commercial break as they all start fighting.
We need that JR clip. He's smiling.
It was a little confusing at first, but then the confusion was cleared up when they got back from commercial break. I'm glad they didn't start the match before they came back from commercial break, because when they left, I think Michael Cole, even though it was on purpose, but Mike Cole sounded like legit confused. Are we going to have a match? What?
We could have done a tag match. They could have, during the commercial break, Owens and Rusev realize they have a common bond, that they hate John Cena, so they team up together to face off against Cena and Cesaro, but they went with the 3-way instead, and the winner will face John Cena for the United States title later on in the show. And by later on in the show, I mean right directly after John Cena the Opportunist. Interesting.
And can I just say this, quick before we get into this match? I don't know why fans keep saying push Cesaro. We thought Cesaro versus Cena, maybe not we, but I thought Cesaro versus Cena was a one-time thing. Now we're seeing it almost every week, just not this week. We're seeing Cesaro being pushed
Yes.
Tweeting, push Cesaro, people. They are pushing him. That's what they're doing now. Just because he didn't win the match tonight, he shined like he has in the past 3 weeks.
I really think on SmackDown they make Cesaro and Rusev for the #1 contender to the U.S. Championship.
That would make sense. And when this match started, a couple seconds after, I'm like, oh, we have 3 foreign people in the ring, supposedly. Rusev can be debatable, because is Rusev truly an American?
I believe he was born out of country, but now he currently lives in country.
Okay, because I heard somewhere like, oh, he's not Bulgarian, he lives in New Jersey. We know Lana's not Russian. This is what I heard on.
He doesn't live in New Jersey. I know that.
It proves.
Rusev live in Jersey.
It proves you can't believe in everything on the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
He lives in Jersey. That's great. Yeah, apparently he's Bulgarian, lives in New Jersey. Okay, he's from Nashville. Remember the whole thing about him and Lana buying a house together? Oops.
Oh no! I blame that one fan telling me that he's from New Jersey. Then.
So Rusev is now from New Jersey, according to the Popcast.
And remember, the internet is never wrong.
Rusev is not SAWFT. That had to be said.
Hang on.
Oh no.
Hang on.
Before we get started.
I'm just thinking about this.
Yeah.
Rusev either lives in Nashville with his girlfriend, or he lives in New Jersey because Iron Sheik says it.
So if I had taglines on these podcasts, this would be tagline Sesame Slam.
That's
wait. If the card next month is that bad, that's what we'll definitely use.
Yes, awesome. So let's pick up this match, and if you're new to the podcast, I kind of get into this, so get ready. This is a three-way for the United States Championship title opportunity, which happens right afterwards. But they didn't know that; they just knew they were going to get a match. So Cesaro ends up hitting a vertical on Rusev. Owens with a cannonball to Rusev and charging Swiss uppercut to Kevin Owens. Rusev hits a cannonball on Owens of his own. Cesaro with Swiss Death on Rusev, which is kind of hard given the fact that Rusev's so bulky, but it still works. Owens hits a code breaker to Cesaro, makes a near fall. Scoop slam on Cesaro, heads up top for the swan time, but Cesaro gets his knees up. Rusev with a leaping kick, Cesaro makes the save. So Rusev ends up hitting a sweet swinging Saito suplex on Cesaro for a near fall.
His strength is freakishly.
Yes,
it's just
he has freak strength without a doubt. Cesaro is this is a cliched term, but it's very true. Cesaro is pound for pound the strongest superstar in the WWE locker room without a doubt.
Oh yeah, even though like my dad said he doesn't look like someone like John Cena.
Whoa.
Don't whoa anything, Ashley. He's stronger than anybody else.
Don't you remember Commandment number 11?
I want to see that match, like, now. I've been talking about that match, and everybody looked at me like I had 3 heads, and now they're like, well, it might work. That will. I think the battle of freak strength between Cesaro and Lesnar will be fun.
I meant from your comments that you were basically going to have Lesnar go after you.
He's going to go after me?
Yeah, you provoked him.
I didn't provoke.
You're the one that said that Cesaro's the pound-for-pound strongest.
He is.
Lesnar threw a cold door.
Mr. Lesnar may cast some disapproval of that comment.
I want to see that match. And now it can actually happen because Cesaro's been built up enough that it's believable. Give me Cesaro and Brock Lesnar now.
Shut up and take my money.
No lie. Cesaro scoop slammed by Rusev. He heads up top. Owens catches him, climbs up, goes for a superplex. Cesaro tip up powerbomb. The Tower of Doom spot always works. Cesaro makes a cover on both, but only gets a near fall on both of them. Puts Rusev on the buckle. Hesitation dropkick to Kevin Owens. Swiss uppercut to Rusev. Climbs up, and the gut wrench superplex is stopped. Owens puts Cesaro on his shoulders, and it gets countered, tossed off to the ropes into a springboard 180 DDT on Cesaro. Rusev makes the save. Makes a cover on the opposite man, gets a near fall there. They trade punches, Owens and Rusev. German suplex, standing switch, blocked. Cesaro hooks him. Triple German suplex, all three men are down. Rusev knocked all the way to the floor with momentum. Cesaro hits a corkscrew pescado on Owens and Rusev. Tosses Rusev in, heads up top. It's a flying body press for a near fall. Double leg, going for the swing, but Owens super kicks Cesaro. It was a glancing blow, but it still worked. Owens hits the moonsault off the middle turnbuckle for a near fall. Cesaro low bridges a charging Kevin Owens, and Rusev with a Vader attack. The fall-away slam, the stomp, the accolade, but Owens breaks it up with a super kick. He looks at Cena at ringside on commentary in his monotone voice on commentary and says, "I see you." He heads up for the package sidewalk slam, but of course it's countered. Alabama slam to Kevin Owens, the irony. The stomp, the accolade, Cesaro with a boot breaks it up. Hanging vertical suplex to Rusev. All three men are down. So Owens decks both men with forearms, yells, "He's mine!" And they attack Kevin Owens. They've all turned on him, and the crowd are really insane at this point. Charging Swiss to Owens. Clothesline sends Owens over the top of the floor. Owens ends up getting up in Cena's face, says, "Screw this, I'll see you Sunday," and leaves. So Owens is gone. He just walked out like a good heel should. He walked out in the midst of a match.
And may I mention that another thing, because, for some reason, these fans, or whatever you want to call them, still have the audacity to say that John Cena is not putting talent over. We all know, we can all agree mutually that he's putting talent over in matches, and even on commentary, ladies and gentlemen, he was talking for 2 minutes straight how about the future is bright.
Oh, yeah.
WWE. He was talking about the Divas. And then he was talking about the 3 individuals in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
I have more respect for Cena this year than, the last 6 years.
I can't even tell you how stupid of a statement it is to say that John Cena doesn't put people over.
I still see it on social media. I don't know why.
Get over yourself, people. Come on.
Really have
Open your eyes.
Yeah, that's the case. That is really the case. Open your eyes. You see great matches. He's putting over Kevin Owens. Even if Kevin Owens doesn't win the U.S. title, we'll get into that later when we get, when we do predictions. But the fact that he's talking about it on the microphone and even on commentary for you to hear, he's putting people over as he should.
Consistently.
Great veteran, yes.
Consistently, John Cena is putting on the best matches on Raw every week.
Yes, week after week, where he would usually pull out a good match or two a few times a year when, this is his best year, basically. His best matches.
So we continue when we come back from commercial break.
How dare they take a commercial break during this match?
So Rusev has got Cesaro in a chinlock. Turnabout is fair play. Cesaro punches his way out, tosses him off to the ropes, ducks the clothesline, 180 springboard Swiss uppercut, charging Swiss uppercut in the corner. He does it again, then repeated Swiss uppercuts in the corner, hits the hesitation drop kick, and goes for the outside-in superplex, but it's blocked, countered, and Rusev picks him up and suplexes him on the ring apron. Very risky move by both of them, actually, right there.
Really nasty. Looked like they were dead afterwards. The referee didn't know what to do.
Both men are down at this point. Rusev heads up top and gets caught with a Swiss uppercut. Cesaro heads up for the superplex, but it's blocked. He gets headbutted off. Cesaro comes back up, is not going to let him deter him. Drop kick, superplex is countered. Front superplex by Rusev, diving headbutt misses, and Cesaro locks Rusev in the crossface. It's countered into the swing Uranagi, and for a near fall right there. And Rusev, it's noticed right there via all the uppercuts, he's got a busted lip. Rusev has a busted lip here. Cesaro busted his mouth open with the European uppercuts.
It makes sense. Those are very impact.
So he goes for the stomp, setting up for the accolade, but it's countered into the sharpshooter, but it gets broken. Duck the clothesline, spinning heel kick, somersault senton from Rusev, stomp, accolade, it gets countered with a headbutt, double leg, the swing shooter, and he's about to get to the ropes, and of course in a three-way there's no rope breaks. Rusev basically uses his own momentum to pull himself under the bottom rope and out of the ring, which of course thus breaks the hold. Cesaro ends up hitting a tope, which is weird because it looked like he was trying to flip with it, but he decided against it at the last minute, so it just kind of looks awkward. Sending Rusev into the barricade. So at this point, charging Swiss uppercut against the barricade, tosses him in, goes up top, gets crotch, Rusev with a leaping kick, and gets the 3 count. Rusev is going to face John Cena for the United States Championship, and it's up next.
And this is when I saw, people tweeting, oh my God, Cesaro lost, push Cesaro, and I'm just, rolling my eyes. And, I didn't mind seeing Rusev versus John Cena again. They had okay matches, but, how Rusev performed tonight on Raw, which is different from a pay-per-view, this was one of his best matches ever, I think.
Yeah, Rusev brought his A game tonight for sure. And he needed to. He needed a great performance tonight. Because it's the first time he's really been able to wrestle since his injury. So this is when he had to shine, and he did just that.
He really did. His first match back on SmackDown was completely overlooked with this one. And the fact that the match was right afterwards was perfect because Rusev's selling is on point. He looked like how we are when we get out of work. He was so tired.
He looked like he got hit by a bus. And John Cena is just standing there, the opportunist, getting ready, running the ropes and everything, getting all ready to fight. And Rusev's like, what up, take it home. But then we got the match directly after. But before we talk about that, Ashley, your thoughts on the three-way dance? The turn into a singles match.
I played that Sesame Street thing on the call that we were having, and
yeah,
that's what I was feeling like, but actually, the 3/2 put on a pretty good affair, so I can't complain.
Aaron?
I mean, I could, but I won't.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I think, from after the 2 weeks of John Cena versus Cesaro, we wanted John Cena versus Cesaro versus Kevin Owens. So I was a little unsure of Rusev versus Owens versus Cesaro, but it delivered. It overexceeded my expectations. And again, it was the match with the most wrestling on the show. I mean, how long was that match alone? 20-plus minutes. Has to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Unheard of on Raw.
I mean, not lately. Lately, they've really been giving those 20-minute matches at least once a night.
Right, exactly. Not lately, but, it used to be very rare. But like you just said, it's becoming very reoccurring.
So, basically, like I said, Cena is a heel here. He's wrestling like a heel. He's controlling the match like a heel. He's not letting Rusev get some breathing room. He basically wrestled him to the mat. Like, it was pretty much like a catch-as-catch-can wrestling match for quite a bit. And then he broke into some fun stuff here. So, Cena ends up going for his normal special, shoulder block, proto bomb, 5-knuckle shuffle, goes for the AA, and it gets countered in a very unique way that I've never seen before. Rusev is on his back. He dive bombs his lower back right into the accolade. I thought that was a brilliant counter right there, and it's not something we've seen before.
I must have missed that because I was still tweeting about the Divas at that time. I really was. Everyone else was. It was like a discussion for like 30, 40 minutes. And then I heard what you said because Michael Cole called that spot. He was like, the accolade, the accolade. Turned in incredible counter.
So it looked like Cena was in some dire straits here. He picks up Rusev on his back, and he backs him into the corner. Rusev still has it locked on. Cena finally drops. He's about to tap out. Kevin Owens runs out, boots him. Of course, that causes Rusev to technically win by DQ. And he tosses Rusev to the ropes, hits the pop-up powerbomb, and Owens leaves. So Owens, of course, gets his heat back, regardless. He ran away and he got his heat back. That's classic heel shtick right there, without a doubt.
The best at it right now.
Ashley, thoughts on the Rusev-Cena match?
It was this was weirdly the best one that they'd had.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cena was the
Makes all that
aggressor.
WrestleMania useless.
Yeah, no lie. Cena was the aggressor here, and he's not normally the aggressor in this situation. He basically took advantage of a wounded Rusev. He toyed with him early on with like the wrestling moves, and then he started to kick it into high gear, and Rusev almost got one over on him, but Cena still comes out. Well, he didn't leave the ring, so.
Yeah, exactly. And, and to some fans, I mean, maybe seeing Rusev versus John Cena for like a 5th, 6th time, we all exaggerate and always say like 10th, 20th time.
Yeah.
Nobody should have complained about that after what you just saw between Owen, Cesaro, and Rusev. I didn't complain. I was like, oh, it's Owens versus Cena. Let's go. I mean, it's Rusev versus Cena. Let's go.
Pretty sure this sets up Cesaro and Rusev. Like I said, they should announce that on SmackDown as the last booked match for Battleground.
They should have announced it tonight because nobody watches SmackDown. We'll find that on social media.
That's how I find out.
That's the point. That's a point. They didn't announce anything for SmackDown.
No, nothing was announced about SmackDown this week at all.
I don't think, really anything's announced for SmackDown, like, ever. I mean, it is.
So no, they announce at least one match every single week. They announced nothing tonight.
That show means nothing. No, I really do think if that show really does, it really does. I mean, excuse me. When it does move to USA Network, they're going to have to make it mean something at that point.
Well, it'll be live then, so then they're not
you really think so?
going to have. They're going to have to. They've already talked about going live for SmackDown.
Wow, everything's going to be live. Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, these network specials.
I still won't care about SmackDown though, but still.
Yeah, but like I think just the fact that it'll be live, eliminating spoilers. It'll be good for the dirt sheets. The numbers will be down. Oh, we can't get SmackDown spoilers anymore because it's live. But I think it won't make SmackDown mean something necessarily right away. It's not going to happen overnight. But just the fact that they're going to be on USA Network, the same network as Raw, and 1 year it might be the same network as Tough Enough too. So 3 shows on USA Network. Ugh, WWE. Advertising sells, but it'll help it. Being live will help it.
We'll see how it works out. Real quick before we go any further, they bring out Lita, and who's looking great, by the way. And it's basically a huge putover for Tough Enough.
I was actually looking forward to talking about this because after this segment, it's even though it's not really like smart booking, it's just awesome or wise that they had someone like Lita come out to her entrance theme after we saw the women's wrestling division changed right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, it was good timing, honestly.
Good timing.
But real quick, Ashley, are you following Tough Enough at all this season?
Nope.
So
really,
you're not paying attention to the game show that's trying to be a wrestling show?
If I wanted to see wrestlers, I'd watch NXT.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. I guess
if I wanted to see entertainers trying to be wrestlers,
yeah,
I'd watch Impact Wrestling.
Well, here's the thing, though, and it all comes back to what we're talking about. Before we get back to Tough Enough, I've mentioned the fact that I said Cena worked the match like a heel. Mm-hmm. And before we get into Tough Enough, he did, and to the point that Rusev came off sympathetic here a bit. Which, after all they've done with Rusev and his character, I was never sure they would actually do that, but they kind of pulled the trigger on that tonight.
That's a good point.
I want to bring that up real quick before we move on to Tough Enough. So, Aaron, I'm sure I can see now by the way you're talking that you're watching.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't really approve of the new concept. I guess I'm one of very few fans that actually love this new concept. Sure, you don't have a lot of time of voting. The voting seems legit for real.
The voting happens in a 2-minute commercial break.
Exactly, so it has to be legit. There's no rigging there.
No.
We'll see when it comes to the season finale who actually wins for the guys and the girls. But it almost seems like it doesn't make sense to have like a little fancy studio set for it. It's not even the NXT arena; it's in its own studio. And because they spend very little time in there, it's like probably a total of 15 minutes maybe of the show, or even 10 minutes, and it's mostly reality elements, showing the footage of the challenges. And yeah, some of the challenges don't deal absolutely with any wrestling, but I think they're and I'm not sure how these reports on dirt sheets can say USA Network is like disappointed with the ratings. It just had the highest rating last week, so that doesn't make sense to me.
They thought it was going to be a lot higher than, no matter if it's a high rating or not, it's not the ratings that they want.
Yeah, it's not what the the corporate network people want. Obviously for WWE it's extra advertising, so it's extra money for them to have an additional hour, not wrestling in this case, but just the reality elements of this concept of this show. I like how it really helps you get to know the contestants. I think this season more than ever. Like after the first episode, I knew everybody's names.
But I don't much care about some of these people at all.
I do too. I agree. I don't care for Josh. Tanner is, just not a winner, not even close.
Tanner's a heel, and he's probably going to go far because of that.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I guess just getting into this Raw segment, because it really wasn't much. Clearly the biggest pops were for Patrick and ZZ, and those are my favorites. And it's not just me jumping on the bandwagon because I like ZZ and I like Patrick. They are legit, competitors, not to win the competition. In ZZ's case, but in Patrick's case, yes.
Patrick.
When Lita said Patrick, the way he pointed to the crowd, something about his charisma just screams superstar.
Because he's a wrestler. That's why. Aaron, he's a wrestler. He's not somebody that was brought from a power plant in Atlanta, pun not intended. He wasn't somebody that was just created because he was a muscle-bound idiot. No, he's a guy that actually knows how to wrestle. He's someone that's worked the independent circuit, and it's somebody that WWE can actually take and mold into what they want because he already has the foundation.
Exactly, and I get that. So that, brings me obviously back to the Tough Enough show, is that it's unbelievable why he gets so much hate. The judges just absolutely love him. If there was no voting and it was all the judges deciding who wins the competition, they'd probably just cancel the whole show and just pick him as the winner. Because it's safe to say he's the winner. I mean, he uses the hashtag I'm Your Voice on Twitter, so it's kind of like a little CM Punk gimmick on Twitter, always talking about, I do this for the people and stuff. So.
Well, the weird thing is, of course, is he was the only person in the entire house that watched Beast from the East and at the actual time it was on.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, I was surprised that not many people watched it in the barracks, but when he raised his hand, I wasn't surprised. And Paige was legit pissed, which was really funny to watch, as she should be, because she did like hours of traveling after Tokyo to Chicago, and then for them to not watch it is disrespectful. And for someone like Patrick, I mean, he's just really he's a fan favorite. Anybody who doesn't like him, it just doesn't make any sense. How can you not like him? If you don't like him and you call him a Mr. Know-It-All because he has that knowledge, not because he wants to show it off. He has that knowledge. Let's not forget what Alex said. Knowledge is nothing. So if you're hating on Patrick, you're an Alex.
Alex was an idiot, and I'm glad he got killed. He got canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
From the show.
He got cancelled.
He got canceled, exactly. That's what I'm going to say. Instead of getting fired, instead of getting eliminated, you got canceled.
First he got cancelled.
Because this is a reality show. He got canceled, just like bad ratings.
I think this segment was like mainly to get crowd reactions and see if people are watching Tough Enough. Judging by the crowd reactions, they seem to be watching it, like, at least in where they were, Atlanta. But then this also introduced, which wasn't the mainly reason why they were out there, it introduced the new contestant. And I'm like, I don't know. Is there a reason for is it necessary to bring in a new contestant just because someone left?
No, Diana quit, so
yeah, no, I know
she wasn't eliminated, so that's the reason why.
She's a chicken.
So since she's gone, they replaced her.
Yeah, no, I saw that. So it's Chelsea. That someone won't go very far. And she didn't even say one word or did anything.
She doesn't look familiar to you guys at all?
Oh.
Hang on, that Chelsea name rings a bell.
It should.
She's been on here before in some sort of...
That is
I'm
correct.
not that person, honestly, but I am.
Yep. Do you want me to tell you who she is?
I sure don't, so definitely tell me.
Well, first off, she was Daniel Bryan's physical therapist, the one that they had the affair with.
Yes. Now I remembers.
And she's a graduate of the Storm Wrestling Academy.
Okay, wait a minute. So how is that fair for the other people? Even though they just had to pick one. They went back to the audition tapes, and they picked her.
Remember, she was in the final 20.
Yeah, she was one of the last ones to be cut before they went to the actual list.
It's not like they went to somebody that wasn't even on the list.
Oh, okay. That's why I wanted to make sure. Okay. She was in the final 20. Okay.
So, and she has wrestling experience. She's got great personality. I know that she's going to go far.
We'll have to see. This is a good question. I wonder what's going to happen to not all these contestants, but the ones that didn't make it and shouldn't have gotten eliminated. I think we'll get one or two of those for the season's up. Do they stay with the company in NXT or just come back and do it next year?
I don't think there's going to be another next. I don't think there's going to be one next year. I think this is a one and done. I don't think there'll be another Tough Enough.
So why do they keep doing that? It's like every 2-3 years now.
The only way we see another Tough Enough is if they go back to they get a different host, because Jericho's not cutting it as a host.
A different host, but people are complaining about it being too reality TV-ish.
It needs to be more wrestling based, but the problem is they're not creating a wrestling show; they're creating a reality TV show. So you have to look at it from completely different parameters.
Oh yeah, exactly. And,
like I have my favorites too, but
I mean,
I'm sure you do as well.
Maybe the best part of the show was the logo. I like the logo. I mean,
that's bad if that's what you like about the show.
Oh wow! Well, it's just to do it justice. I mean, come on. I mean, there wasn't much to the last logo. It was a TE.
I liked Mata. I liked Mata a lot.
Yes, he's a favorite.
He's the one that looks like Tommaso Ciampa, right?
He what?
Ashley?
Yeah, I think so. From what I saw on the people, yeah, I think that's him, yeah.
And he also reminds me a lot of Muhammad Hassan, too. He has that same facial structure. He has that same... I mean, he looks like Muhammad Hassan if he was, like, still able to wrestle right now. And he didn't just give up.
When he had that costume on last week, when they did that challenge, I didn't mean this to be stereotypical. I mean, I thought, like, oh, my God, that's his gimmick. Like, if he were to win the competition, that should be his gimmick. I mean, he looked fantastic in that costume.
Like, Tanner's a tool, but you have to have a tool on one of these shows, so it works. We'll see what he can do when it actually gets to actual in-ring competition. Yeah. I mean, when it's not, like, running around in place and trying to, like, search for things, maybe we'll see if he's really tough enough or not. I mean, I'm feeling he'll go far based on that. I don't like ZZ at all, but I think that he'll go far because of the fan vote.
Exactly, yeah. He
has good charisma, but that's all he's got. He's got heart and charisma, but heart and charisma don't get you contracts.
Try to tell that to Hulk Hogan because he's completely pro ZZ. About Josh, I don't think Josh is not going to win. He's not going to get far. He probably will never be used in WWE. But
Big Andy is all I have to say, Aaron. Big Andy. Big Andy. Talent Rage.
Yeah. No, because the reason why I say about Josh is because he calls everyone babe. It's hilarious. Like if you watch Tough Talk, he's like, okay, babe, and he calls the Miz that. He calls guys that. I'm just like, it's the funniest thing.
That's Hollywood language, though.
That man is equal opportunities. He's years ahead of a WWE sister because we know they're still sort of sexist.
Oh, I like Chelsea obviously because she's got a wrestling background and she knows what she's doing, but I have a sentimental favorite on the show as well. If you want to talk about the women's side of the picture,
I think Amanda's gonna go far.
I'm a Sarah Lee guy.
Me too.
I think she's adorable, and I think that she actually may have what it takes. The problem is that she's not getting off on a good start.
Right, but I think she will. Just like ZZ, those two are really the underdogs.
if she makes it, because no, Zizi's not an underdog. There's a lot of people that are rooting for him. There's almost no one rooting for Sarah Lee but me. But the thing is,
but just like I'm just saying, like underdog in the perspective of like him not winning a challenge yet.
you look at the fact that apparently they did something at the Orlando Improv, and that's going to be the episode of Tough Enough that's going to air this week.
You know, I could have went to that. That was a free taping.
You should have went to that.
I should have went to it, but I had no arrangements.
They were doing a photo shoot at Full Sail tonight too.
Oh, that's what that was. I saw a report about that. Full Sail photo shoot. Photo shoot for what?
I don't know exactly what it was about, but I know that they were doing it tonight.
Okay.
They had like a casting email go out. I saw that on one of the websites. So then, for some reason, after this is over, they air the Roman Reigns Bray Wyatt video package again. Okay.
It's almost like well, actually no, I could have said it earlier. I was gonna say during the Ambrose versus Wyatt match, instead of like anybody but you, it'd be like anybody but this match. I mean anything but this match.
Oh God. So Stardust is back, and he cuts a really good promo. The world needs more heroes, and from where I stand, the view never changes. One by one, all these heroes fall.
Changes.
Now a star will rise. Embrace the strange.
It was very Dusty Rhodes.
No, it wasn't.
No.
The never changes?
It was very, that Arrow match is definitely happening at SummerSlam now.
100%. And it's funny because Stephen Amell was at Comic-Con and he was asked about if he was going to be doing anything with WWE, and he says, I'm not going to do something with WWE.
I mean, I just think it was very Dusty Rhodes because there was a lot of people saying it on Twitter because the fact that he said never changes.
Yeah, I did like the inflection on his voice there. That actually worked really well.
Yeah, no, it did, exactly, yeah. Like, it wasn't easy to miss.
I really like this, and if this is how they're going to push the Stardust character from now on, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And kudos to WWE's production for coming up with a pseudo comic book for Neville and Stardust to promote the match that would be next. I thought that was really well done.
Oh yeah, it was.
Ashley, thoughts?
I like that. Well, again, that's pointing more to
Oliver Queen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was trying to come up with what they're calling the Crossroads now of Stardust. It's the Queen's Crossbow, which is really ripping in the arrow right there. So
yeah, I was just gonna say that. I still have no idea what the show is.
SummerSlam, Stardust versus Arrow. It's gonna be glorious.
I really fans are really gonna take this. I can already predict it. The internet is gonna take it the hard way. You watch. These people are gonna rip this match apart.
It sucks that Cody couldn't have been at Comic-Con to sell it, but I understand why that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So, Stardust and Neville is literally your main event because I don't count a talkie segment as a main event.
Yay.
So Stardust main event's Raw. Woo! So, real quick, the crowd was lukewarm for the reaction. I did not get the reaction I thought they might give Cody when he came back.
I'm hoping what they did was they basically turned the microphones off.
It's possible.
So it wouldn't be ruined by having the crowd marking out.
Yeah, because you don't want to do that for a heel. I mean, I hope he got a favorable reaction. Anybody that was, obviously no one on this panel knows, but
I mean, it sounded like he did when the music started, but then it just quickly died before the match even started. And the reason why, I understand why he's heel, but even the crowd, I think, in Atlanta, all agreed mutually that, he was being cheered as a baby.
Yeah.
They were chanting Dusty, rightfully so, but just I don't know. I would have. I see it both ways, but I would have to agree with other fans and say it does not make sense to have him return to Stardust.
Yeah, it does, because you have to finish what you started. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So there's
like,
no other answer.
Well, because like if fans didn't see that tweet, then
If he was Cody Rhodes when what happened when Dusty passed, then honestly he'd still be Cody Rhodes. So why would he not be Stardust, since that's what he was when?
Oh no, I get it. I mean, I get the analogy between those words in that tweet. So I guess if fans don't see that tweet, and it's an amazing picture, just go on Stardust WWE. And after listening to this podcast, you go there and you'll see why it does make sense to have him as a heel.
Now, I wouldn't have a problem with Cody coming back like wearing like polka dots or wearing like the cowboy boots. After this run of Stardust is over, I would have zero problems with that and make him like hardcore babyface. But right now, this is not the time. We need to finish this, and then we can move on.
It just has to be like after SummerSlam?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
So this match was short between Stardust and Neville, and it actually had a couple things of note. The sweet side effect that Stardust uses now, that looked amazing. And the trifecta of near falls that Neville tried to get to the finish here. The tip up into the sunset, near fall, Lamahi Straw, near fall, the O'Connor roll, but Stardust reverses momentum, hooks the tights, and gets the win over Neville to end the wrestling segments on Raw. So, Ashley, what did you think of the match, even though it was short?
It was nice. It did the storyline that's clearly angling towards SummerSlam.
Yep, because the comic book stuff with Neville, too.
All these various wrestlers are going to be made into comic book style heroes.
Mm.
And Stardust is going to vanquish them all.
He beat Neville, man.
Now we need an actual, proper hero.
I don't know, Ashley. Something tells me there's a hurricane coming through.
Ding, 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 ding.
I prefer Rosie.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about superheroes in training. But seriously, though, Ashley, could you imagine if they brought Helms in to work with Cody?
Isn't he with TNA now?
Well, he's done some stuff for TNA. He's done some like road agent stuff, but I don't think he has a contract with the company.
Yeah.
I think
like that was a little.
He's somehow to do with creative and or talent relations or management or whatever that slang is.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if he has an actual contract for that, though.
I'd say so.
I mean, it would be something that you could easily do if they wanted to pull the trigger on it. Could you imagine Stardust and the Hurricane be the feud, the babyface versus the heel? I think that would be great. But then again, basically, if you look at Arrow, you pretty much have that storyline like ready to go, so you don't really need to bring anybody else in.
Gosh, I'm telling you, they really have to work hard on selling that match because fans are going to rip it apart.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I think comic book fans will just be happy that Stephen Amell's involved with WWE.
Yeah, but then again, you just have to, if they're shooting for that demographic, how many comic book fans are WWE fans? A lot. I have comic book fans that are WWE fans, but you just have to look at the demographic from that way.
So let's talk about the final segment. I'm gonna send this to Ashley here. So Ashley, you can cover this final segment for Raw, the contract signing between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar for Sunday.
So Seth's out first and says he's sick of seeing the clip over and over of the car being smashed up, so he wants to show some footage of his own, and it's the footage where he basically attacks Brock, which I'd have thought slightly contravenes the 11th commandment.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, he says that he'll he'll do what nobody else has done before and slay the beast at Battleground. Lesnar comes out. You expect something's going to happen, but he just calmly sits down in his chair. And Rollins is just staring at Heyman all the time, and Heyman's like, very nice that you want to look at me, but I wouldn't take your eyes off the beast for a second.
Yeah.
Because he's going to beat you. He's going to humiliate you. He's going to break you. He's going to humble you. He's going to smash you. He's going to insert adjective here.
Yeah.
I actually like how he uses those like same words, like whoever Brock Lesnar's opponent is, and they build up the match, and he says those same words. It's the funniest thing.
Basically, he's going to get the beating of his life and lose on Sunday. Seth signs the contract, and as Brock's signing it, Seth starts sort of meddling under the table. And a lot of people were going, "Look, we don't need another dick pic." And even Heyman was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Where are your hands? Put your hands on the table. We do not need anything like that." And Seth's like, "Well, I keep your hair on. I wasn't doing anything."
I thought he was going to get boxes of new Apple Watches.
Lesnar flips the table. Table flip. Meme. Looks under the table in a section where there was absolutely no way that you could get to that part of the table with it standing upright because it was inside the table.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that was because Kane screwed up, sort of thing. Either way, what he finds is an axe handle. So, you're thinking, right, provocation. He unflips the table, puts the axe handle on the desk, and just sits back down.
I love his facial expression too.
Yeah. He's smiling. He's smiling.
It's scary when Brock smiles.
It's great.
So Seth gradually creeps in, thinking something's going to happen, but grabs the axe handle and he's like, yeah, joke's on you. I guess in a Minority Report moment, time predicting or whatever, he flips the table again so hard that it basically smacks into Rollins, and he gets bumped out the ring, and goes after him, but then it goes into a 2-on-1, which Kane and Rollins seem to be on top of, until I think they're going for it. Seth was going for a pedigree.
Yep.
On the
ring steps.
Part of the steel steps, but Lesnar shoved him off into the barrier instead.
Showing his freak strength.
Yeah, strength. And don't know why I said it like that. Kane then tries to get back at him with a choke slam, only to F5 him. And then he realizes, hang on, I can take him out. So he puts him on the steel steps, lifts the small part of the steps, and, quote, smashes his ankle. The awkward thing is, from the replay, you could see it was nowhere near his foot at all.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Good old replay. You got done.
And one job, replay, one job.
Well, you're one job cameraman. Make it look like it is real. Seth, I think, is still down during this. Or no, he's gone through the crowd again, hasn't he?
Yeah, he ran away, and then eventually he ends up coming back with a microphone.
Running away like a resident of Suplex City, bitch. And, Lesnar, after, busting his leg, just heads to the back with Heyman. And you're thinking, that seems to point towards what's happening at Battleground there. But then it doesn't end. And this is like, we're getting close to the 15 minutes. We're actually running, it turns out we actually ran over because apparently this is important. So Seth comes back in the ring and basically says, yeah, you've gone through everybody else, but you haven't gone through me. Maybe because you ran away, but whatever. Saying this Sunday, you know, I'll take you out once and for all at Battleground. You know, reiterating the line again.
Yeah.
But then turns his attention towards Kane, who's obviously injured outside, and says, you know, this is all your fault. Your plan was to make sure that I had the upper hand come Sunday, and you failed. So I guess I'm going to have to do this on my own. And then I think, did he stamp on his...
Yeah, he stomped his leg one more time, then he left.
He did a curb stomp. Thought that was disallowed.
No, he just stomped his leg.
I don't care. It's a curb stomp.
Not really, but okay.
I thought that move was banned.
Stomping someone's leg apparently is not banned.
And so heads up the ramp, shouting,
Oh.
you know, I'm a champion.
But the word backbreaker is banned, supposedly.
I heard it used tonight.
It's not banned, clearly. Even though it is. But it isn't. But it is. But it isn't.
That's what I'm waiting for.
And yeah, basically, they left you with if a 2-hour Raw edit, if it ever happened, got cut off at Lesnar walking off, you're getting one impression.
Yep.
With the way Raw finished, you are clearly getting the idea that Rollins versus Triple H is happening at SummerSlam.
Yep.
If we're being honest, which of course we never are.
I don't know. The question is this going to lead to Sheamus cashing in as well?
The Moose of Shea. Nobody's called him that before. Thank God.
Oh, God. So, that was Raw this week. Yeah, basically, it was a good show.
Oh, yeah.
The opening segment was fine. The opening tag match, if you would have cut another commercial break off it, I wouldn't have had an issue with that. The stuff with Roman and Bray, it did what it was supposed to do, but I don't understand why Roman didn't sell getting hit with a lantern. But whatever.
He got his kid behind him. Believe that.
Oh, God. The women's segment was one of the best segments we've seen on television that wasn't an in-ring segment in a long time. And I will say right now that the six-man was kind of a throwaway match, but basically it was just somewhat to build the tag title match on Sunday, but not really. Truth and Barrett was basically done to build up to their match that shouldn't be happening on Sunday. I like heel Cena. Heel Cena was fun. After basically standing there and watching Rusev and Cesaro and Kevin Owens rip each other apart, Owens walks out, and then Cena basically picks Rusev apart. I really liked the way that story was told, honestly. And I definitely check out the six-man. The six-man was worth it. Cena and Rusev was really good. And, yeah, that's about it. One thing about Stardust and Neville I didn't mention, after Stardust won, they played Neville's music for a second.
Even they didn't know who won.
Yeah.
Basic bitches.
So, yeah. And then the closing segment, it was fine for what it was. It went way too long, I honestly would say. Like, you could have got that story over before, 15 after the hour.
It did actually go long. When Seth Rollins got on the mic, I was shocked because I thought that was it. We just saw Kane in agony, and Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar with the title. Because I saw on Twitter, I think it was from Pro Wrestling Mag, dirt sheet, they said that I'm not sure if that was all needed, in reaction to, Seth Rollins on the microphone screaming his head off.
Well, once you got Brock out of the ringside area, you could have had Rollins come out and basically just, run Kane down. He didn't really have to cut his promo in the middle of the ring or anything like that because he pretty much made it solidify that he's going to win on Sunday. So, all he had to do was do what he did to Kane, and that would have ended it. I think it went way too long.
Yeah,
but
it also went too long, but also like it's telling two storylines. It's like Seth Rollins hates Kane now because he didn't get the job done, or he couldn't get the job done, and Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins.
We had like 3 opportunities to get Brock and Kane out of this, and we really should have the way that they were building it, and we never got it. So that was a lost opportunity. I mean, it wouldn't have been a great match, but I mean, the opportunity was there. So
Right.
he wants to conquer both Brothers of Destruction, not just one. So, yeah, that's what we had for Raw tonight. We go into Battleground. Battleground is this Sunday. St. Louis, Missouri is going to be your location. And just like we did with Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank, Ashley, Aaron, and myself are going to give our predictions.
The question is, are tickets still available?
Oh, I'm sure they are at this point, but I'm not positive. Pay-per-view tickets, usually they try to sell until the day of. Like, I know for a fact there were still tickets available for Money in the Bank on that Sunday, but they cut off the sales. So I don't know how many actually, if they sold out the building or not.
They cut off the sales for Battleground?
They'll cut off online sales. The only way you can buy tickets then is if you get them at the box office at the actual venue.
Wow, that's kind of dumb.
But that's only, like, day of, unless there's a lot of tickets left, and then we'll try to pay for the crowd. But WWE doesn't generally have to do that.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with the matches on the card, and I'm going to write down all our predictions because I've kept track. And I will tell you that at Elimination Chamber, Aaron and myself tied at 3 wins apiece, and Ashley had 2.
Bollocks, I'm already behind.
At Money in the Bank, I won. I had 4, and Aaron had 3, and Ashley had 2.
I didn't even know you were keeping track.
Behind.
So we are going on to Battleground now, our 3rd pay-per-view, talking about the pop, since we've been doing Popcast. So we're going to go with the matches, and we're going to give our predictions on who's going to win on Sunday. So we're going to start off with the pay-per-view kickoff match, the Battle for the Crown. King Wade Barrett taking on R-Truth. King, what's up? I hate that name so much. So, Ashley, you're going to go first.
I hate to say it, but I'm just fearing... I'm going to say King Barrett, but if they make it R-Truth winning, wow. Just World of Warcraft, wow.
God. Well, actually, no, it's not World of Warcraft, it's World of Winning, since we have Mr. Entertainment on the podcast.
No, it's World of Warcraft. It's overly long. You have to pay too much money for it on a monthly subscription. There's meanings.
I tried to put Aaron over, and you...
Aaron should not be associated with World of Warcraft.
No, it's
He's
World
a
of
good
Winning.
person. World of Warcraft isn't.
Correct, and the movie's going to suck, too. But still.
That isn't World of Warcraft. That's Warcraft. Get it right.
I don't know these things. I'm not a console gamer. I'm not a computer gamer.
It's not even on consoles. You something.
How am I supposed to know? I'm not a gamer.
That's what you should. That was your response. That was your correct response.
Aaron, pick a winner.
For King up versus Wade Barrett?
Yeah, Wade Barrett and R-Truth.
This is the kickoff show match, correct?
This is the match that they're going to be promoting Mountain Dew, like it's going out of style.
Oh,
Mountain Dew.
So it is a kickoff show match. Just wanted to make sure. Good.
Mountain Dew presents the continued dissolution of Wade Barrett's wrestling career.
Well placed to be on the kickoff show. Knowing how it's been going, it could be a switcheroo and could be Wade Barrett. But with the feud, it's just really a toss-up. So I'm going to go with Wade Barrett.
Okay. So we're all going. So apparently, Aaron's going to go with Barrett. Ashley's going with his fellow countryman, and I'm definitely going with Wade Barrett as well. Truth won tonight, and usually Wrestling 101 will tell us that there's a good possibility if someone won on the go-home show, they're going to lose on the pay-per-view. I know it doesn't always happen that way, but usually that's the case. I think this feud finally ends on Sunday with Wade Barrett bullhammer to the head, and that's going to be what I'm going to predict for the win. So Barrett all across the board.
Please, God, please.
And if anyone's in chat right now that can listen to us, you can give your predictions for Battleground as well. So we go on to our next match. Our next match is going to be the Battle for Donovan. I mean, the Battle for...
What?
Ashley got that. That's old school.
I'm getting confused with Custody of Dominic.
It's going to be Judy Bagwell on a forklift. So, yeah, I said Donovan because it's new. Dominic would have been gimmick infringement. So, it's going to be Roman Reigns taking on Bray Wyatt. It's literally Aquaman versus the Riddler. So, the battle of DC Comics. So, Aaron, you're going to go first. Pick a winner.
I'm going to go with... It's coming back to me on this one, actually.
Oh, okay. Ashley, you're going first then. Again.
No, I'm not going first. I'm not going first. You're going first.
I'm not going first. I go last.
And then we just stall for Aaron to decide.
Oh, jeez.
I've got a feeling my answer could be very different.
Uh-huh.
Goodness gracious. Is this...
We need the music from Jeopardy now.
the Schmepperdy theme playing in the background in my head right now.
This is Randy Orton versus Sheamus, right?
No.
No, listen, it's Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns.
Hang on, we've got some music.
I think that's why it's a toss-up. I think that's why I'm stalling, because Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
He needs a win.
A win?
Oh, you're not going next?
Oh, sorry. So it doesn't go last anymore.
Not all the time.
Okay, fine. You're gonna put me on the spot. I'll do that too. I'm gonna agree. Bray Wyatt has to win this match. He needs to win this match. He's lost. I mean, I understand we're in a character for Bray right now. A lot of people will say it doesn't matter if he wins or loses, just as long as he makes a symbolic point. But I think we're at the point now that Bray has to start winning matches, or the fans are just not going to care anymore. Then they're going to have to hit the reboot button on him, and I'm worried that that's probably what's going to end up happening if this doesn't pan out. I'm going with Bray Wyatt to win as well. Ashley?
I'm going to say Roman Reigns, because in all adversity, Bray Wyatt, up until this week, has always had the upper hand.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And the angle that I just think they're going to go is, you know, this time the mind games can't be played anymore. In theory. You know, it's just one-on-one in a ring. He can't, you know, try and run away sort of thing with his, you know, contacting their national grid to turn the power off. So I think Roman is probably going to go over, because the thing is, if you are going to be having what I think is happening is the WrestleMania rematch at SummerSlam, you can't have Roman coming in off a loss.
I don't think they're doing the match at SummerSlam. I think they're doing a rematch with Roman getting his heat back after Bray wins on Sunday.
And again, of course, Ryback lost to Bray Wyatt Extreme Rules and then got the IC title.
Exactly.
I'll still say Roman, I think because the way they're booking some of the other angles, heels are going to be going over. So you've got to have some success for the faces, otherwise, rampant sexism.
Well, speaking of that, there is no match for the Divas Championship on Battleground.
After tonight, I think it would be all right if we did it.
Something will be set up on the Down of Smacks.
There's 7 matches on the card, so it's either that or Cesaro and Rusev. Or nothing. They may only do 7 matches on the show.
Rusev could be on the pre-show.
It's a 3-hour. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a 4-hour show. Remember, your pre-show is an hour still.
But there's only 1 match on the pre-show. I mean, if they wanted to add the match on the pre-show, I guess they could do that. But I mean.
Yeah, because other than that, if not, then it is kind of redundant because it would just be 1 match that's not going to be long. Because Truth versus Barrett's not going to be long in the kickoff show, and then the rest is talking.
That's all they do normally, though.
Well, that's what they're supposed to do. That's their job. But just like two matches though would help balance it.
I don't know. It just depends. After doing 6 matches on Raw, anything's possible at this point.
Yeah, because Cesaro versus Rusev, you wouldn't do on the kickoff show. After Divas tonight, you wouldn't do the Divas title match on the kickoff show. No. So those 2 might have to be placed on the show. On paper, you can have 9 matches. It's rare. It can happen.
I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, after tonight, I really wouldn't be surprised if the Bellas show up at TakeOver and attack both Charlotte and Sasha Banks, and we lead to that. That sets up the tag match for SummerSlam.
And that's really, what I think tonight what we witnessed with that segment alone was an invasion.
Because Ashley mentioned this off camera, and I'm going to give him complete credit for it, that he's thinking that there's going to be Sasha and Charlotte again for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver the night before SummerSlam.
I would see that match 100 more times. Why not?
We're getting it Wednesday, too.
Exactly. Why not?
I look forward to. So, let's talk about... okay, let's do Randy Orton versus Sheamus next.
OMG, Mick Foley just favorited my tweet. Okay, continue.
Show off.
I'm being followed by Vince Russo. So, Randy Orton versus Sheamus. Ashley, you want to go first?
Mm-hmm. I am entertained. Sheamus is winning this.
Okay, Aaron?
Sheamus.
Yeah, we're gonna run the boards here with Sheamus. First off, it's Randy Orton's hometown. Most of the time, you don't win in your hometown. And I have a feeling that Sheamus needs to be built up because eventually he's going to have to cash in the briefcase. And you're looking at one of the next WWE champions, so you have to keep him strong.
Unfortunately, we're looking at the next WWE champion.
I don't necessarily know if it's the next, but he's going to be a WWE champion.
No, it isn't the next. It's the new.
So we'll go into our 3-way for the Intercontinental Championship. It is Ryback defending against the Big Show and the Miz. Ashley, you can go first.
It's not like the other things, what? Can you guess which thing is not like the other thing before I finish my soul?
Well, let's see. The Miz has hair, and Ryback's never been world champion, so what do you mean by one of these things is not like the other?
The scary thing is that one of these things is not like the other is going to win.
Say it.
Miz.
Yep.
Miz is going to go over. Because they've had a show. Well, show's just looking like a basic bitch. But Ryback's always the one that looks the strongest.
Yeah, he looked real
He's always
strong
been the
tonight.
guy that's on top. So it's going to change to somebody. And if anything, it's going to change to The Miz because, got to plug the fact that Marine 4's in your bargain bin at your local Walmart.
I don't know. It could change the Big Show. He did win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal after all.
That means nothing.
Oh,
Aaron, pick a winner.
I want to agree and go with Ashley. I really do, but something just tells me that Ryback, he's going to have the championship a little bit longer, so I'm going to go with Ryback. Although Miz is starting to become my really favorite. He's my fan favorite going into this match, but realistically,
Your fave five.
yeah, realistically, WWE's going to do the complete opposite. Ryback. If it's Big Show, people are going to be pissed.
No, Big Show's not winning. Big Show, I think, is going to eat the fall, by the way.
I thought you were going to say he's going to eat. I was like, oh, get out.
Obviously, given the fact that it's me, I really want to say The Miz. And the thing is, I think they're going to see how long this Ryback reign will go.
Yeah.
For a little bit longer. I mean, I do see Ryback dropping the title, but if he would drop it at Battleground, it'd basically make him a transitional champion, and at this point, I don't think he is. I really think they want to hinge their bets with him to try to see if he's actually going to be worth it for the long run. So I hate to say this, and it's not what I would do.
Right.
But if you look on the card, you see how many heels are going to be winning at Battleground. You have to somewhat even it out a little bit, and I'm going to give Ryback the retaining. I don't like that, but that's what I'm going with. All right, let's go with the tag team title match. You have the new WWE Tag Team Champions of Primetime Players defending against the New Day. Still rocking the Orlando Football Club gear. Gotta love that.
Power of positivity.
No, it's not. And using the real cheap heat with going after the local sports teams. I noticed that as well on their promo. Do not know who the tag team is going to be that's going to be involved for the New Day. I guess we'll see. Normally it's Big E and Kofi. I think that's usually the pay-per-view team, and Xavier Woods is the manager at ringside and runs his mouth, does the normal things the manager does. So, Aaron, pick a winner.
I'm going to go with Primetime Players retaining the gold.
Okay. Ashley?
Primetime will retain, because if New Day keep getting the title, it makes it look like it's a Japanese title, which, change hands every 14 seconds, apparently, at the minute.
Yeah. I have the Primetime Players retaining as well. You got the titles on them finally after forever, so they're going to give it some time. And plus, you really don't have any real challengers in the tag team division at this moment that are serious challengers, except for the New Day. So until they start building more tag teams, I think PTP stays on top for a bit, and they honestly deserve it. Really, they do.
I had a cough. I said the Ascension, relaunch the Ascension,
or get rid of the rip-off Road Warriors gimmick and make them what they used to be in NXT, and then we'll be a lot better off.
Yeah.
So up next, we're going to go with what I would like to call the double main event here. The United States Championship on the line, John Cena defending against Kevin Owens. So obviously Owens is off, getting pinned by Finn Balor in the tag match on NXT, losing the NXT Championship in Japan to Finn Balor. And he's obviously got Samoa Joe in his crosshairs right now, so he's got a lot of people that don't like him. So here's the thing. Is Kevin Owens going to be able to win, or is he going to lose? Aaron, pick a winner.
He's going to it's going to be win Owens win.
Okay.
And not to mention another 5-star classic.
Oh, yeah. Ashley?
You next.
Oh, God. Yeah, Kevin Owens wins. I definitely think he wins, and I think that we see probably the rematch at SummerSlam, and I think somehow, some way, they will interject Cesaro into it so we get a 3-way for the Intercontinental Championship. United States Championship at SummerSlam.
And I also want to mention real quick before Ashley gives his prediction for this match, this is a match that, we know is going to be a 5-star classic, but it's also a match that doesn't need a stipulation or a match gimmick. This is the third time that they're just going on simply one-on-one, and that's what this match needs.
Yep, exactly.
And that's where it takes a twist. That match is going to end in a DQ.
Okay.
Somebody, whether it be Rusev or Cesaro or a combination of both, will run in and cost that result. You know, Owens is about to have it won, and somebody's going to run in to do to Owens what he did to them either this week or 3 weeks ago. And then, more than likely, because you're probably going to be having the whole Lana Dolph versus Rusev and Summer Rae angle, SummerSlam becomes a triple threat with Cesaro, Owens, and Cena.
Yep, that's what I see
And
too.
that's how Owens gets the belt, and then you have the blow off at Night of Champions, because then it truly is sort of, you know, this is the night where championships matter, and this will be where it all matters, because it'll be the last, you know, they'll do some stipulation, sort of like the Rusev thing, except, oh, hang on, selective memory, Rusev and John Cena will never fight for the US title again, as long as the other is champion. So what happened tonight? I honestly think that this has been such a good angle over this summer that I think they could probably eke it out to Night of Champions if they do it that way.
I agree, but I mean, I don't know what direction they're going to go at this point.
Who cares? If it's going to mean more people are watching the network, they'll do it.
Oh, I know.
You know, we hate to use the tagline "best for business," but you know it's sort of true.
So by that way of thinking, you have Kevin Owens winning by DQ.
Somebody's winning by DQ.
If
I
Owens
don't know
gets
whether
attacked,
somebody's
that
gonna
means he
attack-
wins.
I don't know whether somebody's going to attack Cena. I don't know whether somebody's going to attack Rusev. I don't know whether somebody's going to attack... I've forgotten. Either way, Cena's going to keep that belt, and it's going to change at SummerSlam. Actually,
Right.
no. I'm taking this back. That was...
What?
No, I'm trying to do my SummerSlam predictions in my head. And you can't have every title change hands on that show. So on that logic, I actually think Owens is going to win. I've changed my mind. Because I think Roman is winning the belt at SummerSlam. Somebody is winning the Divas Championship. Oh no, if they're not... You see, if they're not having that match, then that's just stupid. But... You can't have a pay-per-view like... Oh, what was it? Like Survivor Series 2000 or something?
Mm.
When every single title changed hands. You know, that's a very rare thing, and I think it did happen more recently than that. Something like that. But I don't think SummerSlam is going to be that. Mainly because, obviously, the previous night there's going to be a heck of a match.
Yeah.
With, you know, Owens and Balor in the rematch. No, screw it. I think I've now put another pitch. It's all my SummerSlam predictions that's affecting this.
Yeah, right.
Right, yeah. Cena is retaining this either via DQ, you know, where Owens wins, or Cena wins. Owens is getting that belt at SummerSlam because it'll be like he's just come off his loss, so he's still got no title. And then the next night he gets the glory again, probably in front of a crowd that's going to be more crazy for him than a crowd in St. Louis. Because where is it again?
Where?
SummerSlam?
SummerSlam.
Barclays Center.
Barclays Center. Oh, whoa! I didn't know that. It's the same arena as NXT Takeover?
Pretty sure.
Holy crap! Like, if that's the case, then there has to be like a separate set, obviously, for NXT Takeover Brooklyn, and then SummerSlam. That's cool.
They're all three. It's Takeover, Pay-Per-View, and Raw. They're all taking place at the Barclays Center.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Meadowlands
Whoa.
Expo Center. You bastard.
Wow, major love for Brooklyn.
It's probably the only
Whoa.
place they could book.
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
I have no
Yeah,
idea how to explain that one.
Along my umming and ahhing for 17 minutes, Cena is keeping the belt somehow. And it'll be Owens that gets the glory at SummerSlam. Because that crowd won't even care that Owens lost at NXT. Because they'll still say that was a hell of a match. Same like they'll say the next night. Plus, with the way that they're doing it in New York, there's going to be a lot of... I think, certainly because it's there rather than LA, it's probably a lot more affordable for international fans to go if they wanted to.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So you might see another crazy crowd again.
Apparently, they're sitting NXT for 5,000 people. So if that sells out, then they may have to open it up
If
to
that
more.
sells out and SummerSlam doesn't, that's going to be funny.
Yeah, no, that's actually going to be very funny. If NXT TakeOver Brooklyn sells out and SummerSlam doesn't, then, like I said again, there's a problem.
Why else do you think at Comic-Con the only talents that were there from WWE were Balor, Zayn, and Owens? Other than they wanted to see Excalibur.
You know what I just thought of? This was the biggest NXT debut to date, I think. Like, was there another night aside from the night after WrestleMania where we had 3 NXT debuts in one night? Was that 3 or 2 NXT debuts in one night? The Raw after.
We had 2 with Paige in... No, Neville was the following year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't had... I think we've never had more than... No, because wasn't it Neville and the Lucha Dragons?
Yes.
Yes.
So I guess... Sin Cara's... Sin Cara's an innie outie. So...
Yeah, Sakara's a debatable debut.
But yeah, technically 2, I guess, in that sense. So it would be the first that we've had a triumvirate.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Talent, because it's alliteration. You'll see.
So,
after 20 minutes, Cena will retain somehow.
oh boy, that's hard to explain. Well, I guess we'll see what happens on Sunday. So, a main event, WWE World Championship, Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. Aaron, pick a winner.
It looks like Brock Lesnar is gonna, win, and because Seth Rollins has no backup, but Seth Rollins is gonna find a way.
You have Rollins winning?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because I guarantee if I pick Lesnar, it's gonna be the complete opposite.
Okay. Ashley?
I've got my real pick, and then I've got a fantasy pick, which I'll do after everybody's pick.
Okay.
Honestly, I'd say it has to be Lesnar.
Okay.
But if my other one happens, that's pretty genius.
Yeah, Brock wins.
Right. So, I'm sort of wondering Sheamus.
See, Sheamus being the new cornerstone of the corporation of the Authority would be perfect.
We're gonna do this angle very similar to the whole Bryan situation at SummerSlam 2 years ago.
I don't think that quick. Sheamus to get the championship.
Rollins retains
Yeah.
somehow. By hook, by crook, who knows? Triple H comes out and sort of congratulates him. Sheamus comes out with a briefcase. Cashes in, obviously. Wins. And, you know, Triple H will do absolutely nothing about it. And Triple H sort of raises Sheamus's hand. Because then you could still have Brock versus Roman. Then it doesn't have to be for the title. You could also have Rollins versus Triple H because of what happened. And then you could have Sheamus versus Orton for the title. I'm just wondering whether they could pull a swerve like that.
Well, I've been saying that Sheamus would be joining the Authority for the longest time, so if it happens, it's something that we've been talking about for a long time.
Yeah, but do we? Does it seem like we're getting? I think I saw one tweet. Does it seem like we're getting like one, not one, but less of the Authority?
Well, basically, the Authority now seems to be Kane. It was Kane, J&J, and Seth Rollins, and now it's nobody.
Yeah,
Right.
but if you think about it, Sheamus is that arrogant in his character that he wouldn't need anybody like that backing him up. You know, he's like Orton. He's the golden boy. He doesn't need any assistance.
Sheamus is the hand-picked successor from Triple H.
Yeah. You ain't the future anymore, kid.
I've been saying that forever, and if they finally pull the trigger on it, I would be very happy.
That's my logic. If it happens, don't say I didn't warn you.
Then we do Sheamus and Lesnar at Night of Champions.
Yeah. Hell, you could, if you wanted to, because then technically you could have Wyatt beat Roman and then it continue on and finish at SummerSlam.
That's what
You
I think.
could have Sheamus versus Lesnar. Then, of course, you could have Sheamus get absolutely beaten the shit out of, and Lesnar keeps the belt.
I honestly have a feeling that this is going to lead to, at least for a little bit, when everything is all said and done, the reformation of the Shield, at least for 1 or 2 nights. I can honestly see Rollins is getting beat up by the Authority, and who comes to his aid but Ambrose and Reigns, but they don't do it right away. Because they never should have split them up, so they might as well put them back together.
Survivor Series?
Survivor Series, exactly.
Team Shield, sort of, versus Team Authority.
How about the Shield and Brock Lesnar?
And somebody.
So,
Mark Henry.
No,
His 79,000th face
not
turn.
Mark Henry. Cesaro would work in this spot.
Yeah. Brass ring now, bitches.
Cesaro, Brock, and the Shield against Triple H, Sheamus, probably Bray Wyatt, and we need a tag team.
New Day?
Maybe, but that's 3 other people, so we can't really do that.
Yeah, but Xavier would just be on the sidelines, because he always is.
Why don't just do 4-on-4 then? Brock and the Shield against Triple H, Sheamus, Bray Wyatt, and actually, no, that won't work. Can't think who the 4th person would be at this point. It's on the tip of my tongue. Well, the answer is Wade Barrett, but they're apparently not willing to push him.
And apparently they're not willing to push Cesaro. Which is a joke.
Yeah, that's our Battleground predictions, and we should be a decent show on Sunday, and we'll be coming to you live after the show is over. 11 o'clock p.m. live on the East Coast, and that would mean that we are 8 o'clock p.m. on the West Coast. So check us out. We will be talking about Battleground, and we may not be just the three of us. There may be a special guest or two. Who knows? We'll see.
There may be 79 special guests.
That's WrestleMania coverage next year. Mark my word, that's going to be a big night for all of us.
We're gonna break the Google Hangout servers from the most people on a call in the stream, but not to get ahead of ourselves. I'm looking forward to the next one. I don't know about you guys. That's when the real fun begins. NXT Takeover Brooklyn, SummerSlam, and Raw Popcast back to back.
Good God, 3 podcasts in the same night, and by then we'll also be getting Horror Nights information. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, no, it is going to be great. Actually, we'll talk about Holly Hornets when we go off air. So. Got something to say about that.
Yes, we will. There's things to talk about, no worries. And real quick, I want to thank both Tristan and James, 2 really good friends of mine, 2 great YouTubers, and people that are going to really have a blast with me in Orlando at Horror Nights this year for joining us in chat. I want to thank Acer, as always, for his spot in chat. You can check him out at Acer1337. So check him out on Twitter. He definitely needs Twitter followers. So yeah, he's a jump guy. Check him out. And I just got a message that asked if Tito Santana is on the next pay-per-view.
Papa Pump.
Chico Santana.
Chico is not on the the Texican Tito Santana, according to Jesse Ventura, is not going to be on the next pay-per-view. Tito is much happier being I believe he's a teacher now.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty positive about that.
Unless he's paid a lot of money by a shindy.
Yeah.
But thanks, Papa Bump, for the question, though.
Yeah, much appreciated. Thank you. The hashtag WWE Popcast we used to promote, but I mean we haven't really used it for questions lately. But we'll try to get into those soon. I mean, things slip my mind when it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, so.
I actually think, just a little suggestion. AfterBuzz TV, when they do their shows, obviously we're our own, but they actually say the hashtag to use to answer questions or just chat about the show at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, we'll work something out with the questions and the hashtags. So yeah, we've got that coming up. So that's Sunday.
Like most Twitter things, we'll just steal popular hashtags.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, and then just say, "Hey, we're trending."
I want to, as long as someday we get to trend, that would be awesome. I'd love to try to get that popular somewhere down the line.
I think that's like everyone's dream. Like,
I think it's doable. I really do. I think in my heart it's doable. And thank you out there for watching us, listening to us live or on archive. We totally appreciate that. We're doing really well when it comes to views on the channel. We're very close to 1,000 subs on Pop right now. So if you haven't yet subscribed and you like what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube and check out the regular content on Pop. The normal segments like Sip and Snack or Versus or AJ's movie reviews, the Halloween Horror Nights coverage from both coasts, or Disney or Universal or Vlog of Randomness or any of the Popcasts, whether they're wrestling or Horror Nights based, or even the Universal Orlando one we did that was a blasty blast. So a lot of content every day here on Pop, so check that out. It is Tuesday now, so tomorrow means NXT. We're going to be talking NXT on Wednesday. Thursday, brand new Sip and Snack. We're going to be focusing on breakfast and barbecue chips. I know that's a really strange combination, but for me that's a regular occurrence, so we'll knock that out.
And I'm actually, just say, real quick, I'm actually planning to buy the Oreo s'mores as featured on the last.
Woo! S'mores Oreos were actually really good. I was very happy with those.
They sounded good.
Yes, and those are knocked out. And, of course, AJ's movie reviews this week tackles Trainwreck and Ant-Man. And very soon we've got True Story coming up. We have we've been kind of neglecting the limited releases lately, but don't worry, we're going to kick back into those because don't forget, we're not very long away from when I go to Orlando. When that happens, I don't have content. Like, I have content, but it's pre-recorded content, so it's going to be nothing but those kind of videos.
Oh, so you're taking the TNA way of things.
That's how I do it. Whenever I head home, sweet home to Orlando,
Right.
it's kind of like it's time to provide content. So
Oh yeah.
that's what we've got. And Gaming with Ash returns Saturday. Ashley ended up having to drop off for a moment. I don't know if he will return or not, but he'll have a Gaming with Ash segment. I know he missed this week, but we'll check out, which he just checked out like 2 seconds after he checked in. I thought that was kind of rather entertaining. If we get to that, well, before I go with the outro, then he'll tell us what's coming up on Gaming with Ash. Sunday, brand new verses coming your way. Don't have an actual cryptic comment yet because we don't know exactly what it's going to be. But once I find out, I will let you guys know, probably on NXT tomorrow. If not, Sip and Snack on Thursday. You'll know the cryptic comment for versus this week. Halloween Horror Nights news. Obviously, Hollywood announces their first maze over the weekend of Crimson Peak, Maze of Madness, and I have 2 videos on that. Check out both of those videos. One, the decryption of Name Game 2.0, and the other one being just the official announcement. Sounds to me like we're going furthermore into Horror Nights later this week, or it's
better.
Or it's a possibility that we might just have to walk somewhere else. I mean, it's just anyone's guess. But I got a good possibility very soon. Someone's going to make everybody scream, and I got a feeling that there are aliens among us. So that's what we've got for this week. Horror Nights news coming whenever I get it, and I will be joining the Horror Nights updaters. I had a really awesome time chatting with them, talking about Crimson Peak over the weekend. You can check that out on Horror Nights updaters on YouTube. And a lot of really awesome people. I'm very happy to be part of that collective. Not actually in the Horror Nights updaters, but I'm very happy to be working with them. It's always fun to guest on their podcast. I really enjoy being a part of other podcasts, and that's when I get to this. Obviously, if you're a theme park or wrestling podcast and would like Sir Owen Disney to be a part of your show, or if you have questions or you have personal questions I can't answer on here for good reason, if you'd like to tell me that you like what I'm doing, you like what Ashley's doing, you like what Aaron's doing, you like the podcast in general, want us to continue, versus ideas, sip and snack ideas, vlog of randomness ideas, don't worry, it's coming back soon. It's only a very short sabbatical. Or if you have travel questions, trip questions, or want to become a popcast yourself and continue this wonderful popcaster revolution we've got going on here on Pop, you can email me, siroandisney@gmail.com. Friend request me on Facebook at Owen Disney, and while you're at it, you're more than welcome to shoot me a message on our Facebook fan page at Sir Owen Disney Pop, or search for Sir Owen Disney and Pop. And weirdly enough, I'm going to end it with my Twitter, which is at Sir Owen Disney. You can check out Ashley on the internet every single week on the SNS Radio Network for Sticks and Flicks, as well as the whole indie show, which he does with Sandro every single week. I'm sure they're going to be talking about the indie wrestling that's been going on over the past weekend. They'll be discussing that. You can check that out. Also, if you want to email Ashley, it's sticks@snsradionetwork.com, and you can check him out at AshIsMyNameUK. Also, furthermore to that, and if you'd like to check out Mr. Entertainment on Twitter, you're more than welcome to. It's at Mr. ENT92, and Aaron, read off your plethora of social media networks.
Mr. Entertainment 92 on Facebook and Instagram, and Mr. Entertainment on Wrestling Amino, brain fart, live stream and Vine. And I'm going to push back my Universal trip. May not happen this week, but I am planning to go see Terminator Genesis, and that's going to be interesting because I haven't seen any of the other Terminator films. So,
ooh,
so yeah.
You have fun with that, Aaron.
Yeah. I mean,
watch the review on Pop right now.
I'm using an AMC guest pass for it. So, but there's no other movie to see. I mean, the friend I'm going with has already seen Ted 2, so I don't think he would want to watch it again. I've seen some of the big films early that came out this summer. With him, San Andreas, Hot Pursuit. Not a big film, but we saw, Jurassic World. I don't think he'd be that kind of guy to watch Minions. But so Terminator Genesis it is.
You have fun with that.
I'm a fan. I'm not a big fan, but I'm a fan of Schwarzenegger films. They always give him the cheesy lines. If this is a bad film, so be it. I guess I'll still have fun because Schwarzenegger is in the film, and every time he talks, I'm just cracking up.
Honestly, it's the only redeemable quality about the entire movie.
Yeah. Well, I the last Schwarzenegger film I saw was The Last Stand, which we both agreed was very underrated.
Love The Last Stand so much.
Yes, and Escape Plan was all right.
It was like a Jack Slater movie, but real.
Yeah, I may actually want to watch Escape Plan before I go see Terminator Genesis, because like I said, I've never seen Terminator before, and I don't have the DVDs, so I have to look at them online or search them on TV and watch it before Wednesday. So, yeah, that's what I got going on this week. Not much.
So that's what we've got for this week, and I want to thank you guys and girls out there for joining us live or on archive. We totally appreciate it. Like we mentioned every single time, we're not just trying to be a broken record. We really do appreciate your guys viewing and checking out the podcast, enjoying the podcast. And if you like what you see, spread the word, because we're really trying to get our names out there. So continued thanks to Ashley, who unfortunately had to drop out, but it sounded like he had a good time. And I always have a good time chatting with Ashley. Is my partner in crime, after all, when it comes to the podcast. And I want to continuously thank Aaron for being a new part of this group and a very welcome addition to the podcast. Thank you, Aaron, once more.
No problem. And I just want to say about Pop itself, it's really just a very cool, not project, but just a growing brand. To kind of talking about NXT here, it was like 6 months ago. It's a growing brand.
It really is a growing brand, though. Honestly,
it is, yeah. It's a growing brand, and how it promotes, everybody, and it's not just one-sided. It's just great. Very grateful to be on here.
And we're grateful to have you a part of it. Special guests hopefully will be joining us on Battleground or on Raw or on both. It depends on how everything lines up. And you're talking about us growing. That is very prevalent because you can catch us on moviepilot.com right now. Check out moviepilot.com/Suro and Disney, and you can check out AJ's movie reviews versus Gaming with Ash and my Halloween Horror Nights content. So all that's on there. And coming very soon is the Pop app. That's right, for iTunes, for your iOS devices. Pop will be having an app very soon. More details coming in the near future. Once I get some more solidification on that, it will happen, and I will shoot the info out to you guys whenever I get it. So that's what we've got. And that's going to end another edition of the WWE Raw Popcast. I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. Ashley does not have any words to go, but I'm guessing if he did, he probably would be talking something about tickets are still available for something. And Hoodie Man, and probably making some sort of the sounder and playing the Sesame song. One of these things are not like the others. Like I said, if SummerSlam sucked, we'll call it Sesame Slam. And that's his parting words, I guess you would say. Aaron, you have any parting words?
It was a great Raw to talk about. Hopefully it really is it's definitely new beginnings in the Divas division, and every week it should be watchable now with Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte part of the mix. And we'll talk to you guys on Sunday for Battleground. Should be I think a great show. Should be a great show. After tonight's go home show, it's going to deliver.
Yeah, it should be enjoyable, but we will find out on Sunday. So we will see you guys on Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. on Pacific Time, and you can check us out right after Battleground is over live talking about the event. So that's what we've got for this week. I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.